Hello and welcome to Questionnation Fan TV. I am Pelo.
And I am Slindo.
And if you're here for the first time, this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs Football Club. We start the conversation here. It continues down in the comment section, so do make sure to leave your comment because we'd love to hear what you have to say. Now, if you're a returning subscriber, shout out to you. And a special shout out today goes to King Madonsela. Shout out to you, King Madonsela. Today, yeah, today, njengoba nibona, I am joined by Slindo. Vele ukhulume nabo abantu. Awazi uthini.
Well, I do know what to say. So if you're here for the first time or if you're new here, you won't know who I am. But if you're an OG, like OG, from back at the beginning of this channel, you know exactly who I am. Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to have you back because I always say the same thing to you guys who are watching Guti. This channel is just about football fans speaking about Kaizer Chiefs. Really, it's not experts. So Mouses was Kuluma's better. It's correct. We comment section, right? Don't go and say, "Hey, bogus reporting." We're not reporters.
Please don't fight us also on Twitter or wherever. I'm not shy. Most start things like that.
Yeah, so today we will start by Indaba that I reported yesterday. So it's actually about this guy. So Louis Ngshilo Izolo. I'll pronounce the last name, Sindo.
I don't know. It's Mikison or something. I don't know.
Mikison, yes. So anyway, it's this Louis Mikison from Mozambique who's playing for Al Ahly. So he was transfer listed. Now his agent, yesterday I reported, well I did not report, I said rumors said that he was offered to Chiefs. But
bogus
now
news, huh?
This
is the bogus news.
But now the agent has come out and said the club, Kaizer Chiefs, have not communicated with me. I have not offered him to them either. It's a no. Akubek, angacela pubaf. Ati Simba have not contacted me either, and Yanga, it's a no as well. We've not heard anything, but if he leaves Al Ahly, the aim is, if he leaves, is to take him north. But nobody has approached me from any of those clubs. Now, I know this could change, but guys have said Tukuti, he's a good player, he's a good left-footed midfielder, blah, blah, blah. But right now, looking at where Chiefs is, would it be a loss if we ended up not signing him? You think? If we ended up not signing any other midfielder for that fact this season?
Let's see. Firstly, we need options.
Yeah.
Personally, I like options. I like a team with options. Don't tell me this thing of, I know, you should just have players that are okay, players that are coming up. We need options with experience.
Sure.
That's always the first thing for me.
Yeah.
People who've played games, played big games,
yeah.
And if we have an opportunity to have those players, why not? Like, if we can afford it, it isn't going to break our bank. I don't see why not have a player like that. Even if maybe in a year's time you want to sell him off, whatnot, which I doubt, because if he's as much of a good boy as everyone says he is, there will be no need for us to sell him.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, I think take him.
Yeah, because that's what I was telling the guys as well. I haven't even seen him play.
I have no idea who he is.
So it's Bafika Gabafet comment that down would know he's actually a good player. So now, I don't know whether this is like a way Yoguti Akupuli price yak to say no if he's going. Pela north of Egypt, we are going to Europe.
Yeah. You know how players always want to play against Africa. I think that's something you spoke about. I definitely saw it being spoken about on Twitter where players go from Europe and come back to their African countries, with that guy coming back to Ghana. And now this is the exact same thing. Players want to play off Africa against each other. So they want to have a little battle between, hey, I can get a bit more money out of these clubs by telling them, hey, I'm going to Europe, or a European club wants me, or anything of that sort, which for me kind of hurts African football in a sense, because now teams aren't willing to pay the money they would have initially been willing to pay, firstly. And secondly, we're losing quality players to the Europeans I thought they were page, which just frustrates me even more.
Yeah.
Like, why leave a place where you'll get game time, you'll get to at least see your career flourish, get a trophy maybe, actually play to get the trophy, not just get a medal at the end because you're part of the
squad. Exactly.
You know, have some sort of contribution.
Yeah.
Something now. It's very weird when players say, hey, I've been to Europe, I've played here and there, but we've never seen you. Like, we've never seen you. You're always on the bench, then you got injured in training, and then you're back on the bench. It doesn't make sense. You play maybe that last game where they know what the outcome is.
Sure.
They're staying either in that position or they're getting relegated.
There's nothing to fight for. So there's nothing that's challenging you. You just go.
It doesn't make sense to me.
And it's that thing, I feel as though my agents, what they end up doing, I think Chiefs has fallen for this trap before. These agents advertise their players as if he wants to stay in Europe. It could be happening with Utabo Kele or Kodesang, or maybe not. The agents are busy saying, the club is being difficult, they want to keep him. And in that way, they're actually trying to get more money from the team that wants to buy the player from Europe. And if you look at the players the Chiefs have, like Otto, look, they're getting about 1.4 million because he's coming back from Europe. And you see, yes, he's a good player, but you would think that price or the money that we pay for him is also because of where he's coming from, not just his quality. So we will see what ends up happening with the signing. But Nami, I echo your sentiments. I think we do need options, especially in light of what's happening next season, not just this coming season, but next season. 5 CAF Champions League must qualify. Hopefully we do. And then a Super League. By the way, I haven't asked you about this. What do you think about the Super League?
To be quite honest, I haven't really delved much into it. But if it's anything like the Super League I'm thinking of,
the European one,
I want it. Personally, I want it. I think for Africa, we need it. In Europe, no, because that's just a money show in Europe. But here, even if you have money, Sundowns is proving this. Sundowns in the market, we can lose to so many teams. What is Sundowns? Yes, you would like wait. Because they can do whatever. They can say, oh, yeah, shy parents got a nina some shy. That's what I like. So I think that kind of competition is good for us.
Yeah.
I mean, have the best of the best teams playing together in Africa, because anything can happen. Unlike in Europe, most of the time it's like cities or Shahu 1, 2, 3. Okay, then maybe they have a problem with just that one team, and then if that team beats all the teams also, the final how's it looking? At least you can predict, and you can successfully predict a top 4. No matter what PSG sits in the one, you can predict a top 4. If PSG you can predict a top 4 in those teams easily because of how they play and how they perform with UEFA. Because PSG aren't that great at UEFA. Anything outside the country, it's a bit shaky. So you can predict, okay, maybe these are the teams that I'll see there. But in Africa, you really can't do that. But people
are saying Wydad and Al-Ahly are clearly dominant, and they think they will continue to dominate because, like, Morocco and Egypt, like the best.
I don't think so. I really don't.
Iracha njalo ngathi Wydad neRaja, Al-Ahly, all these teams from North Africa.
I don't think so. Like I don't. Personally, I don't think it's so set in stone as you might see it. I don't think it is. This is Africa. It isn't a set in stone as you might see it. Anything can happen. Literally anything can happen, guys.
As you're talking about witchcraft. Anyway, Gatara to Africa, so that's why anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Okay, so but before we continue, Uguti, the other thing I want to ask is, what about all arrows or sekukune? Because Vele, they haven't told us, Uguti, how is it gonna be like a format. But if let's say they always take oh, I heard someone wrote on the comments about teams would be relegated. Because there are 54 countries. What I forgot to mention, by the way, is Oluguti, of the 54 countries that we have, all of them voted unanimously. So all of them wanted a Super League. So it's unlike Europe, Uguti, some teams did not want. But in this case, all the federations wanted the Super League. So then I think it's maybe that glimmer Uguti, there will be more accountability unless Africa wants to do what they like doing, Uguti. All these leaders in positions, Bayaz Uguti, with a championship like this, a league like this, there will be a lot of corruption going on and there will be a lot of money going into their pockets. So that would be the downside.
That normally is the downside. Sorry, that normally is a downside for us. Like, money will be given, but money will never be seen being spent properly to make sure everything goes properly. And that, it hurts. It hurts our football, it hurts our economy, it hurts everything, really, if we're being quite honest. But, hey, petrol out
But yeah. But moving from the bad news to the good news about Kaizer Motaung. So,
oh my.
Yeah, so legendary Kaizer Chiefs founding owner and chairperson Kaizer Motaung will have an honorary doctorate in social sciences conferred on him by the University of Cape Town at the university's graduation ceremony on Friday, July 22. I think this is great because we talk about how people are always honored masebe feel. Yeah. So it's good to see this because I'm going to now say Dr. Patrice Motsepe, Dr. Ivan Khoza. Finally, I'm told Dr. Wait.
Yes.
But everything aside, though, it's just good to see Uguti, like University of Cape Town, not even Uguti, it's University of Johannesburg, but UCT actually doing this and appreciating the people who are our club legends. Well, not legends, but African legends and South African legends, because we club value legend, but it's also like a founder. So it's
I think it's really great also. Yeah. I really do think it's great. I read somewhere that he turned down $1 million to start this club.
Sure.
In that time, 1969. Imagine
$1 million.
Even now, $1 million. Sign me up. Where do I sign?
Exactly.
He turned down $1 million to start Kaizer Chiefs. Look at it today. Just look at everything he's managed to accomplish through this club he started. To be a club that goes against the Orlando Pirates, have some sort of rivalry against the Orlando Pirates.
Biggest club in Southern Africa. Not South Africa, Southern Africa.
The biggest brand in Africa, if I might say so myself. So
can I just say something, Pirates fans? I teach English online, eh? And when I talk to people about football in South Africa, they're like, oh, you support Kaizer Chiefs. They don't say Sundowns, no. They don't say Pirates, no. They ask about Chiefs. So that's how much this man has done for each Chiefs, and he has made and developed this team to become like the biggest club.
Such a well-known brand. I mean, there's people in America who know about Kaizer Chiefs. There's people all over the world know about Kaizer Chiefs, all the work he's done. I mean, development, developing soccer as a whole. Because when you start a team, it doesn't just end in that little spot where you started. There's players who come from Cape Town, Durban, wherever, looking for their great hits. But I see a Chiefs team. We're going to try and see if we can make something of ourselves. And they do. And when they do, they go back. They get back to their community. So you can see how the links go further than just the team you started in this one place. So for me, I think this is really, really great. Especially because Usapida. That's like the best thing for me. Give people their flowers while they're still alive.
So we should do away with that. And actually, speaking of someone who could have potentially become a club legend, but to some is an enemy. Opinion. So George Maluleka, Kulumak SAFM, he said, I know some people are still angry. I've heard and seen the comments about me costing Chiefs the title. But what could I do? Now, this is a big one. Now, siyazi sonke ukuthi Maluleka 1920 season or 2020-21 sekune COVID. So it was 2020-21 season.
Yeah.
Where he signed a pre-contract in January. Then Chiefs, I don't know whose brilliant idea this was, or they're gonna bench him because he signed a pre-contract in the Sundowns. How do you feel about George Maluleka? How do you feel about him right now? And about how it ended up, what ended up happening there in that season?
I think the biggest problem for me was his inability to be patient, firstly. And the second thing is just not being honest from the onset. Because you can say now, okay, I didn't know how my future was going to look at Chiefs and whatnot. But just be honest. But
they didn't offer him a contract. Because he wanted a raise, I'm guessing. But they weren't offering him that. So then he signed with Sundowns. So can you blame him?
I mean, a part of me wants to, but at the same time, I know I'd secure the bag also. Like, the bag is the most important thing here. I know it sounds ridiculous, but if we think about it, at the end of the day, all these players have bills to pay, they have families that are looking, would say, Wilson's do 1, 2, 3. So at the end of the day, he has to secure the future. So if he isn't seeing any longevity wherever he is, he must move.
Because the other thing, Mina, if you ask me, who do I blame for losing that title? It was Mendedor. There is no two ways about this. A question of the day go on the scrolling words here. Isn't that cool, by the way? Tell me if that's cool. Like the video if this is cool. This is cool, right? Yeah, it's definitely cool. Anyway, that's besides the point. Right now, the question of the day is actually, like, what do you think about George Maluleka's decision of leaving Chiefs, especially during that time where we're being chased by Sundowns? Do you think it ultimately affected us losing the league? Well, it did, because then Chiefs benched him. But can you blame him? That's the question. That's the sort of question. Because personally, as you said, I don't think we can put much on him. Because if Chiefs did not give him a contract, then what was he supposed to do?
Yeah.
You get me? Because I think even at that time, there were players earning more than him, although they were having less contribution compared to him. So, if you think about it, you saw Guti, even after he left though, we still could have won the league. There was a game where Evanga scored against us when we were playing against Vets. Unukovic wang Pumalapo, by the way. Wakeja Pansko Pal. He missed. I was like, oh, Jesus Christus Nazareth. Oh, Pansko Pal. Pansko Pali. And then few minutes or shy goal Evanga sadly. If we had drawn that match, we would have won the league by 1 point. It's a loser because of incompetent players. And Unukovic, I think, even that very same game, he came on for Castro, and then Castro got injured. And Unukovic was on a yellow card that game. And if he got another yellow card, it was going to be his 4th yellow card, which was going to roll him out against Sundowns. He went in, he got a yellow card. I was like, I'm done with this guy. Because after that, he gets a yellow card. After that, he misses the ball under the net. I'm like, I'm done with Nukovic. That's why I know Uguti, some people like Unukovic. Uguti, he first season. So yeah, in the Nukovic, if you can control yourself in those high pressure situations, that means other players of big teams, what's this thing, we Super League, for instance, then they will know Nukovic, we go after his temper. Like playing a team like Madrid, we saw how they did. They played dirty, like Ramos. No,
Marcelo. That was their game plan. Simple. His ankles will be broken by the time you're done with him. So put something that reminds him that every time you come anywhere near me, it's over for you.
Yeah.
So in your head, you can't play the football you'd like to play because there's people you don't want to be in close contact with or around, which hampers how you play totally. Because now instead of my head up in between the centre backs. So yeah, some you
so that's what I'm saying, Guti. As much as there is the fact that George was gone, but I still think it was Middendorp's fault for dropping him in the first place. Because how can you drop a player who was that important to Chiefs? So I blame him, and coach Guti shouldn't have dropped him. But you guys can let us know what you think about Indabaga George. Do you think there's such a big deal with moving like to a rival at that time, especially because I think a few episodes ago I was asking the same thing, Guti. How do you feel about players moving from Chiefs to Pirates? Because I feel like that kind of makes it rivalry to the Pirate. Like,
it's weird for me personally. It's weird, and I feel like it's also some sort of traitorship. Like, it doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah.
Because you don't see this happening in Europe. You don't see players leaving United and going to City. It's just like, happy.
Yeah,
it's just like a whole thing. Happy. Ronaldo, when he came back to Europe, to the Premier League, he didn't go to City, even though he knew very well the City and phone. But he had to go back to United where he started. For me, I feel like we've lost that sort of honor for the team we play for. And then even when we leave that team, we don't carry that honor with us. We're just like, hey, the next best guy.
Yeah, I think your security.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
weird for me.
So yeah, guys, it's interesting, and we'll continue talking about these things and just keep the conversation going down on the comment section. Thank you so much for watching this episode.
Yes, guys.
We will see you on the next one, and please check out which side am I gonna put it? Here, yeah. Check this video out, a playlist. I'll put a playlist here of the videos that we've made that you probably haven't watched. And until next time, remember, Khosi.
I'll pay more.
Yebo baba.
Yeah.